Hello Aquarius, this is Joe, and I am going to do a love connection reading for you for about the 15th through about the 31st of August 2020. You might be married, you might be dating, you might be procreating, who knows. You might be in a committed relationship, something long-term. You might be doing something that's very non-committal, I don't know. But being that this is an intuitive reading, it can't be for everybody. I think we all understand that. So if it's not, it's okay. There might be another message for another day that's better suited for you. And as always, check your rising moon and Venus signs, because those placements might actually ring a lot more true for you. Anyway, so we're just going to do a you versus them. That's kind of how I feel like doing things tonight. Instead of doing a full spread, we're going to look at them and we're going to look at you, and we're going to compare what's going on. Anyway, so Aquarius, what is happening in your love life, your relationships? We did have one card pop out. The High Priestess. Oh, wow. And the Ten of Swords. And the Four of Pentacles. The Empress. Very interesting. So your person is definitely in they're definitely very guarded. Interesting. What are they holding on to? There's something here with your person, Aquarius, that something they're a little hesitant about, something they're afraid of. But let's pull your cards and let's compare and see what's happening. The Four of Pentacles, to me, it just feels like guarding the heart, guarding one's well-being. And the Ten of Swords might be something that they are a wound that hasn't healed yet for them. And the Empress and the High Priestess might represent that work that they're doing. So you might feel like your person isn't open like you would hope or you'd want, or you would think that they would be in your situation. And you have the Six of Swords, Page of Pentacles. Something's getting lost in translation. Knight of Pentacles. Seven of Swords. Okay, I do feel like that maybe for a little bit of time here now, you have been trying to communicate to your person, and they're not getting the message. Something is getting lost in translation. So it's like this, there's the Empress and the High Priestess for them. And this is like, you know, trying to recover from something. And trying to, getting in a place that is being full again, being healed. And so there's this like really deep feeling that your person is going through something that they are healing from. And I feel like this Ten of Swords here, this is something that they haven't let go of yet. And I feel like you might be taking it personally because it has nothing to do with you, but it's almost like this feeling like, okay, you should be enough for them to get over, enough for them to heal from their past. And they are still very guarded. Four of Pentacles, they're not letting go. I don't feel like your person is really willing or capable just yet to completely open up. So you have the Seven of Swords here. You may feel like this has, this almost to me feels like you're getting irritated or impatient. I'm sorry about the noise out there. Irritated, impatient. This is at some point in time you might have felt like this has been a waste of time, or this has just been something that wasn't worth it because you're trying to do their healing for them and you can't. You're depending on yourself being enough to heal your person and you can't. This is something they have to do for themselves. And so you might be getting impatient. You might be feeling like, okay, this is taking a lot off of you. But I think that you need to release yourself and let go feeling any responsibility for their well-being and their own journey, and them letting go of whatever it is that is led them to where they're at now. You know, at some point, that Four of Pentacles, you know, at some point they do open up to you. I'm sure of that, but I don't see that. This to me really feels like you're taking it personally. So when they're not open to you, when they're not receptive, because they're working on themselves, but they're not completely trusting, because they're still dealing with some wounds and some trauma, Aquarius, I kind of feel like this is just like getting offended a little bit. And I can understand that. I can certainly understand that. Sometimes we get impatient with people and we just really don't understand the depth of their hurt and their pain. So you have the Six of Swords. And so you may have contemplated a time or two, or more than a time or two, of moving on, moving beyond this. But I do see like there's this continual effort to offer your support. Page of Pentacles. To their Ten of Swords. So there's this continued effort to offer support, to try and again, I almost feel as if there's this idea that your love is enough to heal their wounds, and that's not the case. It has nothing to do with anything to do with you personally, but you are supporting them. But there is this feeling of being a little bit hurt by the fact that they're not healing, they're not overcoming something that is very, maybe very dark in their life at some point in the past. And you have the Knight of Pentacles. And I do feel like you're willing to wait around and take things slow, because you really do value this person. I do feel like you love this person. But I feel like, Aquarius, you're overthinking things, and you're thinking logically to the point where, well, if they could just look at it this way, if they could just accept this, or if they could just do whatever is going on in your head, then they will be okay. But that's not the case. But I do feel like you are really trying to take things very slow, to try and just go at their pace, because their pace is very slow. Their pace is not something that they're going to work through in the time frame that you would want them to work through. I feel like this is something that you're really having to struggle with, but you're going to work with them. You're going to work with your person. I do feel like this is something that is worth waiting for, and that's why you're holding on. But you're struggling, you know, with that. It's difficult. It's hard to watch somebody suffer, and sometimes we can get impatient when people are stuck on something. But there's nothing we can do. You know, we have to let them traverse their own journey. So let's see. Let's pull maybe 3 cards for the outcome, Aquarius, and see where you're heading with this. 1. And then we'll pull an oracle card too and see where this goes. Nice. All right. So you have the Seven of Wands. I think this is you giving up, you realizing you're giving up fighting their battles. This isn't a battle that you can fight. This is something that they have to do, something that your person has to work through on their own. And maybe this is that realization. I really do feel like this is that realization that you can't fight their battles. You can't do the work that they need to do to overcome, to triumph through this. But this is also you feeling like a little worn out from it at the same time. You might be feeling like this has been exhausting. But you have the Nine of Pentacles here. This is really seeing the light at the end of the tunnel and the potential here. When you let go and release yourself from any responsibility of something that isn't yours to heal from. They have to heal themselves. They have to go through this themselves. And so I think this is seeing the light at the end of the tunnel. This is like that release of responsibility and being able to just encourage your person on their journey and not taking responsibility for it. Because, you know, at some point, if you just let them do the work, they're going to come into their own, and it's going to make for a very good outcome. rather than being disappointed and let down because you're not enough. You might struggle with feeling like I'm not enough to help you overcome this. So, and then you have the moon. I actually like this because I think this is, again, I don't regurgitate card meanings, but I feel like this is really getting to know your person's shadow side, like some very dark corners of your person, and gaining some understanding just by being in observation mode. And so I do feel like this is getting a higher understanding of some things that you haven't been able to see before because you're so caught up in the logistics of things and how logical to you things just seem. And now you're able to see like maybe their dark corners a little bit just by observing and understanding, having a bigger, higher understanding of what they're really going through. Because you're not taking personal responsibility for something that they have to do for themselves to get better, get through something. And so I think that the moon is the lesser light. And so, the sun illuminates everything. But the moon, there's a lot of shadows when the moon casts its light. We can't see everything. And I think this is you kind of getting to know that side of your person, the shadow side. But also appreciating it and understanding that they're going through something very difficult. And you just have to be a support for your person. I think this is also coming into the understanding, the full understanding of that, and being okay with it. And letting that shadow work, not only for your person, but for yourself, because this also speaks to your own shadow side and allowing yourself to do that shadow work. And so that's kind of where you are in August, going into September. If you release yourself from having responsibility and being personally maybe wounded by their slow progression. All right, Aquarius, let's see if we can get one more card. Slow and steady wins the race. Let me just get one card here. Now I'm going to pick one when it feels right. Unfinished Symphony. See, I think that's beautiful because this is not just a song. This is a symphony. This is a bigger movement in life that's unfinished, that's not fully composed. And I think that letting go allows you to kind of write things together, make the music that you want to make the music that you want to hear. So this to me is almost like an invitation to co-create what's next down the road. But this is also letting go responsibility of something that you can't do for somebody else. And doing that, I think this allows you to have fuller discovery of yourself. Again, I said those shadow aspects, and I think those are very important for us to understand our shadow side. And it can be very hard for us to be honest with ourselves sometimes, to really confront our shadow side. But this is all about that song that is up to you to write with your person, and I think that's beautiful. So, all right, Aquarius, I'm going to end it here. I'm going to say have a great rest of your day, and leave me a thumbs up, leave me a comment if this resonates with you. I'd love to hear from you. Thanks.